Welcome to Thank God It's Monday. I'm your host, Eric Twiggs. Joining me is Ted Fells, and we are the Digital Dudes. And today, I'm going to talk to you about how to drive forward by looking backwards. How to drive forward by looking backwards. I want you to use your imagination for a moment. So imagine for a moment you are driving a race car. Right? You can picture a race car in your imagination, but you're driving the race car on Jeep terrain, right? So you're on this Jeep terrain. There's rocks, there's hills, there's mud everywhere. You have to make a lot of sudden turns and adjustments. You're driving a race car, but it's Jeep terrain. So you feel like you're out of place, right? You feel like you are stuck. You feel like you're frustrated. You're driving this race car. You're on Jeep terrain. And now imagine you're doing this for like a year. Every day you're driving your race car on Jeep terrain. But then one day you get the opportunity to drive your race car on an actual racetrack. Imagine that, right? And when you get on the racetrack, you find that your skills are on a completely different level, right? And then you race people who have just been driving on a racetrack the whole time. Your skills are at another level. You're making moves that they can't possibly make. You would look back on your experience on the Jeep terrain as beneficial. You'll look back and say, hey, you know what? If I hadn't been through that, I wouldn't have these skills and abilities that I have today. So what does this have to do with Monday? It has everything to do with Monday. A lot of times you feel like you're stuck. You feel frustrated. You feel like you're out of place. But I would challenge you first to look back. Look back on how far you've come. Look back on some of those frustrating experiences from your past that have helped you to gain the skills you have today. You wouldn't be where you are today without those tough situations. And look at where you are now. You may feel out of place, but this is preparing you for that next level. This is preparing you for the racetrack. You may be on the Jeep terrain, but this is preparing you for the racetrack. If you can maintain that mentality, you'll be shouting, thank God it's Monday. Ted, what are your thoughts?
Once again, you provide this bone with no meat. You have peeled all the meat off of that bone. That was pretty good. Pretty good. I'm trying to say, what is there left for me to say on that? I mean, your experiences, whether it's a win or a loss, it's like that saying that says you never lose, you learn. Right. So just having that opportunity to experience something and learn from it, definitely can help you, along the way. I sometimes recognize when I'm around people within my team and how I think about stuff compared to how they think about stuff, right? Like one example may be we can be looking at a certain type of a opportunity and someone will say, we don't have past performance in that work. Like we haven't done that before. And then I'll say to them, well, when I started the company, I didn't have past performance in anything. So I'm programmed to figure it out, right? Whether I have done it before or not. And going through those types of, situations, right? You're never like feel like there's no way that you can figure it out, right? You hear me say oftentimes, Eric, I say it all the time, is you feel like you're locked in a room and you got to get out, right? And why do you feel like you can get out? Is because you've been able to get out of locked spaces before, right? And so since you've been able to do it before, why not be able to do it again with whatever you're facing now? And so definitely those things that you've accomplished and have gone through, although tough, they've been learning experiences. And those learning experiences definitely can help you as you move forward, like in business and in your careers and life in general.
Great point. I mean, you bring up the thing of past performance, and anybody that's in business development is very familiar with that term, right? The past performance. But what people don't realize is that sometimes you're building up past performance in a different way. You may not be building it up in that exact industry. So that's why you see people who it looks like they looked into something, right? It's like, what's he doing here? Man, he doesn't have past performance in this industry, but you don't know the 10 plus years that this individual spent on the Jeep Terrain being a race car. That's what built his past performance, his or her. I mean, this isn't gender specific. So definitely, I think the big takeaway is not to discount any experience. Right. This today, Mondays may be rough for you, but there's the reason you're going through the experiences you go through on a Monday. The question has to be, where's the gift? Where is the gift in this experience? Because there is one. You just have to ask for it and look for it. And if you
Where's
do,
the gift?
where's the gift? Where's the gift in this experience?
Wow.
If you ask that question, you will find the answer.
Absolutely.
For sure. So speaking of a gift, we've got a gift of a show coming up at 6 o'clock Eastern on the 30-minute hour podcast. It's going to be the 7-figure secrets to unlock your full potential. That's going to be 6 o'clock tonight. Our guest, Sean Boyle, in just under 3 years, has built a multi-million-dollar company, a 7-figure company, 7-figure marketing organization. In 2020, he was graduating from Penn State. And here it is, just turning 2023. He's the commander, as he says, of a 7-figure marketing company. So this is one to lean in on. And even with him, right? You may look at it and say, well, how is this guy just graduate from college and get a set? No, there were some experiences that he had that prepared him to be in this position. So that's the takeaway, right? You want to drive. You can drive forward by looking back as long as you have the right perspective.
All right. That's great. That's great. Good stuff.
Okay. Well, that is our time for today. Remember, thank God it's Monday.